So today is a very special day for me because I'm going to interview my teacher and the person that's brought me so close to where and how I live now. A lot of you know I've been plant-based for over 50 years, and Viktoras Kulvinskas was part of my beginning. He was the pioneer in all of this holistic healing, raw foods, algae. It was Victor and Dr. Ann Wigmore. And so I am so thrilled and excited and honored to interview him today because there's been a few negative things online lately about chlorella and algae and whatever. And I thought, why not go to the source? Why not go to the person who's given us so much of him and his life for us to understand and be where we are today? Believe me, he was at the beginning. So let's give him a call. He's in Costa Rica, but I'm acting like it's far away when you got all of this technology, right? Cut that out.
Mr. Blessings, Viktoras, how may I serve you?
Hi, Victor. I am so excited you're here. So, and that you've agreed to do this and help us all. I already spoke about how wonderful you are and the place that you've been in my life and how I've learned everything from you. So I'm very excited to do this interview talking about algae, right? So I'd like to start by asking you, okay, there we go. This will be, in your view, how far back does the human relationship with algae, like chlorella?
I have to say that I have a hard time understanding you. I think I'm going to switch to a different, could you call me back again?
Absolutely.
Switch to a different arrangement.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, is this better?
Oh, yeah, much better.
All right, so I have to hold the phone. Okay, then that's what we'll do. I'll hold the phone. People will just see me holding the phone.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay. We're both holding the phone. I wonder if people in their 50s and 40s and...
Two ponies sitting together.
I wonder if people in their 20s and 30s have to hold the phones or if it's just us. We're two phonies. I love it. Okay, so we figured it out. I don't care if the phone's here. I'm just happy to have you here and to be talking to you and for you to give us this wonderful information and that brilliant brain of yours that I've been able to pick for so many years and advance my own lifestyle and journey. So thank God for you, Victor.
Thank God for God.
Thank God.
We're all gods and drags, so it's lovely to connect with one another and enjoy our godhood.
Did you say we're gods and drag? I love it. That's what I love about Victor. It's his sense of humor, too. Okay, I'm going to do a quick introduction, all right? And we'll go from there. Today, I'm so honored.
After you do the quick introduction, could I add a few additional features that might be important in a sense to give a better appreciation of me as a person?
Yes.
Thank you.
So, you want me to do it, or are you going to do it, or you're just going to speak?
Well, you can speak initially. Just say a few words, and then I'll say I'd like to just share with you some of my contributions and my educational background and stuff like that.
Perfect. Absolutely. That's exactly what we'll do next. Okay. And we got a master here that's going to...
Otherwise, I kind of end up sounding like not, just
scientific or professional enough, right?
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So that's the way I'm going to take it. All right. So I'm just going to say what I have to say, and then it'll be your turn. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So today I am so honored to sit with Viktoras Kulvinskas, a teacher, a pioneer, and one of the original voices who shaped how we understand living foods and natural health. Back in the 1970s, his book, I'll show you real quick and I'll tell you how to get it later. His book, Survival in the 21st Century, introduced so many of us to ideas that were far ahead of their time, including the incredible healing potential of algae, chlorella, and raw foods. Victor has been a guiding light in my own journey, and I know many of you will be inspired by his wisdom as we explore the ancient, present, and future role of algae in human health. But I'm going to let you tell, I want him to speak first. Victor, would you give us a little background on you two, please?
Well, interesting enough, I'm 86 and still functioning fully, doing exercise daily, and also basically experiencing the ageless life. You would think. So I was born in Lithuania during World War II, and we were living in a basically what you would call substandard, but it was perfect environment. There was no house plumbing. There was the outhouse was outdoors. There was no heating outside of a wood stove, and we were quite successful in completely sustainable. And then we came to America with nothing but a suitcase and managed to be quite successful in our own different ventures, all the way from my parents to myself. So my own initial experience in Lithuania was that I was inoculated, which is the early version of vaccination, by a doctor who was kind of drunk, and he gave me much too strong of a dosage. I ended up into a coma, and he said to my mother that probably this boy is not going to live beyond teenage years. And of course, wow. And it left me autistic, and that means mental, as one would say, mental retardation and inadequate language development. Matter of fact, I didn't start speaking or developing speech skills till I was early, around 17. And prior to that, I just managed to fake it, and I did quite well in the world. I started working at the age of 11 as a janitor, and then as a grocery boy during the whole week, and on weekends in a bakery, learning to become a baker. And at the same time, I went to school. So, and yet I never spoke. So it was interesting how life was very different in those days in observation. But I discovered certain technologies and meditation that I didn't know that I was doing, and I entered to what would be called nirvana, and all of a sudden at the 17, I went from basically mentally handicapped classes into basically from academic honors, and I ended up actually doing a lot of work in the college level. I became a mathematics teacher at the University of Connecticut, as well as also at Amherst College, and ended up eventually going into the computer industry, working with Smithsonian Astrophysical Observatory and developing the language for satellite systems, or Apollo project with another company, all kind of interesting adventures. So from there, I ended up dropping out because I was workaholic, driven by passion and excitement, and working 24/7, around the clock, sleeping whenever I could. So my health completely collapsed, and I joined Ann Wigmore. I took the vow of chatter. I took the vow basically not because she asked me to. She asked me if I would like to join her, and I says, well, I don't like living in the city. She says, I have a home in the country, Stoughton. So I says, let me check it out. I loved it. She had a farm there, 5 acres. And all of a sudden, I'm basically working with Anne. Like I said, I took a vow of chastity, service, and basically completely surrendered to the spirit and work. And that's what I did. I became co-founder of Hippocrates Health Institute with Ann Wigmore. I ended up spending over 3,000 hours at Harvard Medical Library studying health instead of medicine. And I went through from 1939 through 1975 biological abstracts and gathering data that became the foundation for survival into the 21st century. And that book became a bestseller during that time, Planetary Healer's Manual. It basically introduced enzymology, living foods. I also was the inventor of, let me take a drink.
Please.
I was the inventor of microgreens, basically, and developed indoor gardening, kitchen gardens concept where we were able to grow from sunflower seeds to half a pound, grow up to 4 pounds on a 1 square tray, 1 square foot tray, just on 1/2 inch soil indoors in a kitchen. So it was, and it had the highest enzyme content, microgreens, youthing factors, all kind of things that right now microgreens are major industry in the selling in the billions worldwide.
You started it. Wow.
Yeah, I started. Then I developed. I was. I looked like a poster child of basically anorexia. I was about 95 pounds at the height of 6 foot. And I was working all kind of 16 hours plus a day because of the vegan living food diet, and I wasn't able to gain weight. And by accident, I discovered basically fermentation of tahini, roasted butter. And we used to use tahini for making salad dressings, and most people never liked it. So it would stay day after day, and I just put it back in a refrigerator and let it sit there. I just blend it up the next day and serve it again. By the time third day rolled around, that stuff tasted so good. And all of a sudden, I started gaining weight because now I had something better than your whey protein, which is I was gaining about a pound per. Let's see, was it pound per week in terms of lean muscle mass? Within a year, I gained about 45 pounds. So you can use the Lazarus effect, bring the dead roasted protein back to life through fermentation and microbial activity. And they produce so many wonderful things, including vitamin B12. So anyways, and I continued to be innovative. Eventually, I became involved with Professor Edmund Sekeli and became ordained as a minister, eventually became a bishop of the First Essene Christian Church, and ended up doing ministry work, and eventually they ended up the Mercy Foundation ended up basically giving me a Doctor of Divinity and a PhD honorary one. So I just kept on working in many different fields, from product development, in supplement. I co-authored the first book on enzymology with Dr. Edward Howell.
Who brought it to it, right?
Yep, he was still alive in his 90s. I found him. Wow. I found him in southern Florida, working in agriculture, and I convinced him, because the book had the manuscript. I discovered the manuscripts by accident at Harvard Medical Library when I used to go there to study, and then I decided. I says, "Wow, I found the corner." I found the meaning behind why the Living Food Program is so good, because it's so enzymatically rich. And I contacted him. It took 2 years to find him, but I found him, and there we are. And we published that book, and it became Enzyme Nutrition book.
Yeah, I have that one too. I should pull it out. Yes, I have that too. Go ahead.
So it just kept on, innovating. I worked with Dick Gregory, morbid obesity. I was like the only whitey, among the Black community, And Dick Gregory Victor had a black soul, I just... I went to all the churches, and we would spend a whole day in the church, Bahamian diet, the weight loss product, methods for weight loss and the drug addiction. So just kept on, always interested in what's next. So right now I've been working. My EQ at that time when I was in grade school, IQ was around 70, according to the test that was done at the age of the 8th grade, and also my EQ probably was close to 0. And it took a while to awaken. And they say, EQ and IQ are just the key driving forces. Matter of fact, your IQ never gets fully expressed till your EQ starts getting aligned with it, so that you're not like everybody else. The reason most people go to hospitals right now or doctors is because of stress. And that has to do with the way your EQ functions, your emotional response to every kind of situation. So people are really stressed out. So that's kind of a little bit of a background.
A little bit.
I'm available for consultations and also designer retreats. So I just work with one or two people at a time, and basically we design a vacation in Costa Rica. I have a beautiful place.
I've been there many times.
Lots of monkeys. They visit every day, and just overall wilderness.
I want to say very quickly, I just want to say to our audience, now you can hopefully understand why I have listened to everything this man has said for the past 40 years. I can hear him speak every time. I learn something new. And I'm not putting anybody down that's out there teaching now, but why not? If you have the master and the availability to get his answers, there's a lot of stuff out there, good, bad, and indifferent. And I don't think either one of us want to make anybody wrong or whatever. But this is true information. Victor, he didn't pick up a book and read it. He wrote it. He didn't meet somebody and learn it. He wrote it. He did it. So this is an incredible teacher for us all.
Yeah, I have 10 books on the marketplace. But the most popular one was, of course, Survival in the 21st Century. And it actually has picked up in sales because it's more relevant than ever. The technology that I introduced is still functional, especially, how do you navigate into a happy mind? There's a whole, 10 pages on the subject of the science of happiness,
You know what I use for it a lot, though, in my teaching? Those maps that you had of how everything externally is showing what's going on internally. And I look at so many of the teachers today that are preaching and telling, God willing, they probably have some good information, but they're overweight or their skin doesn't look alive and vibrant, or they have lines that aren't necessarily necessary to have. And what I learned from you and Dr. Wigmore, that all of that can be reversed with the right.
Totally. That's what I've done. On my face, pimples, acne, alligator skin almost because of my dietary habits. But I'll send you a 2025 photo with me, also a facial, and also one that me doing the flying lotus, which is the way I'm doing it is considered impossible. I don't think anybody else could pull it off in the same way because, so, and yet I'm 86, I should be, retiring, but I keep on diving deeper into exploring the human potential, and it's an exciting adventure. But the biggest thing that I do is service, so I don't turn anybody away. I always find that I'm a deal maker. In other words, so that we find eventually a trade, because in a way, every relationship is a relationship not only with yourself, but also it's expansion of your consciousness, because every person has a story, and all you need to do is learn how to listen and how to get the benefits of that relationship. So I haven't found anybody that bored me.
That's brilliant. And you know what? One of the things I've learned from you too, that I'm still working on myself, is the humility you have with all this. I mean, you never come out with saying all this. I'm glad our audience gets to know who they're going to get an opportunity to listen to. But the humility that you have, the way that, and I've been to his place in Costa Rica, folks. I actually held a retreat there. It was one of the most phenomenal experiences. Everybody said. Johnny Juicer was with us in on that one. But I mean, everything about Victor is you sit there, you're just like waiting to hear what he's going to say next. And you always learn something. So I thoroughly encourage you, if you have the opportunity, we'll have all of his information down at the bottom here, to reach out to him if there's some way you feel that you can be helped by him. And I don't see why you wouldn't, because...
And I do want to mention, we have a monthly newsletter.
Oh, yes, the newsletter.
And you can just go to my website, Viktoras, with a K, Viktoras.org, and basically just check out the newsletter. And it's for free, and I think you're going to gain a lot of benefits. This particular one is about creating long-term abundance, which is an interesting issue. I just finished channeling, and I do channeling in a sense. I'm basically not a very smart individual, but I know everything that needs to be known. But because I not only studied and everything, but at the same time, I let the Spirit speak through you, just like Jesus. When he told his apostles to go and teach my message at the later days of his life. And they said, "But Master, we are ignorant men." He says, "Shut up your mind and let the Spirit speak through you." And that's the way I am on stage. I let the Spirit speak through me, just like I'm doing here with Karyn.
And this is why I never miss an opportunity when you're speaking someplace to come and listen. Because like I said before, I don't care. I can hear you 5,000 times and I always learn something new, or I come out with a new way of processing something that I was doing or I was thinking. So we are so fortunate to have Victor here to answer questions. And you know what? I'm going to talk him into somewhere down the line doing a couple of lives with me so you can come on directly and speak with him if you haven't had a chance to reach out to him. So thank you so much for telling us everything, Victor. Like I said, you're everything to me. Dr. Wigmore, and then I found you after her, and I guess that's kind of...
Yeah, Sharon Wigmore was the bomb. I mean, she was inspiration. She was a visionary, but she was wise, but not a very educated person. But she was wise, and she attracted every kind of individual she needed to become, to the point where people were, suggesting she should receive the Nobel Prize. She ended up being invited by kings and queens all over the world. And I saw her on a plane over there. We were traveling. In those days, he would serve food. And when meal was served, Ann Wigmore had her own bag of sprouts, and she would go on every table. And every person would put sprouts. She says, "This is really good for you. I'll teach you how to grow," and just kept going from one person. Nobody stopped her.
Victor, I have purslane growing in my backyard, what people call weeds, and I eat purslane every day in my smoothies because I learned that from Dr. Wigmore. She would go out to the forest before she'd come to stay with me. She'd come with a big bag of purslane and lamb's quarter and all these things.
Those are two of my favorites, too.
People were, spraying them and killing them and getting rid of them for these perfect carpet kind of lawns. And believe me, you guys have had such an impact. And, I like to say, I'm 79 years old and nobody believes it. And I attribute so much of that to what I learned from you, what I learned from Dr. Wigmore, and just having you as a consistent friend. I learned something. We talk, guys. We talk. How often do we talk, Victor? About once a week or once or twice? And I learned. So I'm kind of special there. Okay.
Well, I learned so much from you, Karyn. I wouldn't be talking with you if you didn't provide a lot of enlightenment, wisdom.
Oh, God. Do you see what I mean, folks, about this man? He is incredible. Okay. Well, let's, did you want to give us anything else before we start in on the questions for today?
Let's dive into the topic at hand.
Okay. Well, the topic at hand, I came to it because there is someone online of the medical medium, and he says he gets things, from, like Victor says, he gets things too. And I kind of think I get things. I think we all do if we learn to stop and listen, right? But he has a huge following and he has a lot of wonderful things that he's taught and said. But he kind of caught my attention when he talked about chlorella being a very bad superfood. Nobody should ever ingest it. And we may pay a little bit of the clip when we play these. And my thinking is, well, that's his view. And there are many roads to the top of the mountain. Apparently he's successful in what he's teaching and doing, but I felt people needed to hear the other side. So chlorella is just a piece of it, but I want people to understand algae, or how you feel about algae being in our diets in general. So I thought maybe you could give us a little history about how far back humans did algae. I don't know if you have that information. And what was the first thing that personally drew you to algae?
Okay, first of all, I just want to mention the medical medium. I want to thank him on behalf of the world, because the great work that he's doing. He's bringing to attention the value of raw foods, the value of juices, the value of lifestyle upgrade. He's teaching so many good habits, and no matter what form that he's bringing it into the people, he is definitely the bomb. He's definitely, and I checked him out numerologically, and he definitely has the line of greatness. So he's a very wise man, and I would say if you find him very helpful, continue to study under him because he's got a lot to say. He definitely has the Spirit speaking through him, like we all do. But most of us switch channels because we're scared of the Spirit. But this guy says, "What's next?" You know, and being guided by the Spirit.
And we're not here. Like I said, I just want people to know there are many roads to the top of the mountain. You know, I did a piece.
Oh, absolutely.
They talked. Dr. Sebi had something about where he thought raw foods were bad. I didn't say he was wrong for saying that. I just thought, well, I knew Dr. Wigmore and Victor, and they got great results with it. So I think it's taking in the information and see what resonates for you. Because I don't necessarily think there's a right or wrong. We're all given the choices to learn what we need to learn from them. So no, this is not a put down of the medical medium. We just want to give another thought process. But I thought we'd start with talking about algae, because I know that was one of your major things you researched too.
Well, if you take a look at, first of all, chlorella in terms of its discovery was in around 1810, and by a microbiologist, and he's the first one to identify it. And then in 1960, the Japanese took that chlorella, which is has a hard shell, and managed to, first of all, to establish a way to grow it within tanks, number one. And secondly, they were able to extract the nutrient content out of the chlorella, which is very dense in nutrition. It's very concentrated in macronutrients. It has over 50% protein. It has also a pretty high amount of chlorella, though it doesn't have any other color configurations. Like spirulina has blue-green, and Aphanizoum fluoxaqua, the blue-green algae from Klamath Falls, has also purple. So we have basically different color configurations, and it has the colors in itself are reflecting on the nutrient content and how it influences you. So chlorella is something that it doesn't have it has, in terms of sales presently right now, it is basically around 0.2 billion, and spirulina is around 0.5 billion. They both are projected that by 1930 they will be over $1 billion in sales.
You mean 2030?
So obviously they are very well accepted in the marketplace. The side effects, WebMD and others that bring some of the research, they talk about that some individuals could have an allergic response. And this is not at all surprising because according to cardiology journals, 93% of the American adults population, 93% of the population are called metabolically inflexible, which means they can't really. That's 93%, which means they can't digest fats or protein or starch successfully because they're enzymatically exhausted by the fact that they overspend their enzymes by living predominantly on processed food, junk foods, and also being stressed out, running their immune system, because enzymes not only run your digestive system, but also your immune system and also all your metabolic activities.
So so this is why
diminish radically. So as you can see, basically why allergic responses would be there, and also remember when a person who like I've been consuming the chlorella, I would say about 5 years on a pretty regular basis. I enjoy the taste and basically and how it makes me feel. I feel more confident. I just feel good, as one would say, like as if I was doing meditation. It kind of clears my mind, and it has a lot of research, hundreds and hundreds of papers on research on the benefit in medical journals published. Basically, whether it's an impact on high blood pressure, impact on your immunity, acts like an antioxidant. But with introduction of chlorella for the first time, like when you introduce any new food,
like wheatgrass, people get sick from it, right?
Have uncomfortable feelings. Yes.
No, what I was going to say was my own experience. I mean, I started, and I have my own brand of it. I should have it up here for you to see. I sell chlorella too.
Oh yeah,
because I'm a big believer in it. But my own experience when I went to India in '92, I think it was '91 or '92. I went to India, and my own personal choice was not to do the vaccinations or things to go over there, and I got a way out of it. And people came from all over the world. I went with my Sufi teacher, and 99 people and me. And out of 99 people, I was the only person that was never sick one day. And I was chewing about 24 of them a day. I felt like they were purifying my blood because I wasn't raw when I was in India. I was eating cooked food. And my whole system was in a different place, but I never had any type of reaction. And I really credited a great deal of that to my chewing of the chlorella every day. And I had
Definitely, I would agree with you. There's just such an empowerment of your immune system. It's also very antiviral, anti-pathogenic microbes. So it also provides nutrition to your healthy microbes within the gastrointestinal tract. They love it. They thrive. They double much quicker, in a sense, instead of that it could be any one of the algae. They pretty much double and triple the rate of reproduction. So, and it's one of the great nutrients, any one of the algae. So, yeah.
Well, so I want to talk about the algae, but I will say, and I'm going to pull it up, I have like little pots around the house with my chlorella in it, with my algae. I'll take a minute and go get it. Hang on one second. Okay, Victor. Thank you for waiting. Hi, I'm back. Okay, so... and just to do a tiny little commercial here and within the whole thing, I actually have a brand of chlorella that I sell and take regularly. And I want to do a commercial for you because people love my enzymes and my systemic enzymes. And Victor formulated so many of my products for me, which is why for, 30, 40 years, people are still ordering them. So thank you for that. So in general, though, what drew you to algae in the very beginning? Not just the chlorella, but taking in algae. How does man have
just coming back to chlorella, or introducing any new food, you should do it with basically in small amount. Like when you're like hunting for mushrooms in a forest, well, you might not know every one of them, and some of them are questionable. So you would take a small amount and chew it. If it smell it, chew it, and if it tastes okay, eat a little bit, and then the next time eat a little bit more, and to see how your body responds. But most people are allergic to so many foods, and allergies are all treated successfully with a 2-month immersion into consumption of enzymes on a daily basis with meals and in between meals, and you overcome all forms of allergies. And so basically, the person would do well to, first of all, to introduce small amount, and also to be involved not only in chlorella, but at the same time taking enzymes. I've been taking enzymes for over 45 years, every day with every meal and in between meals. That's why I look so young. I have no lines, I have no creases or anything like that. At 86, people can't believe that, Yet I used to have bags under my eyes at one time. So what I'm trying to say is, it's how you approach it, the supplements that you're taking. And the basic foundational supplements would be some form of algae, and then or a variety of algae, like Chlorella spirulina, Aphanizoin aqua, which is the blue-green algae. And basically, and when you do that, I'll give you an example. With algae consumption, we took Dan O'Brien, who was an average athlete in Klamath Falls, and he was he wanted to go to Olympics in decathlon category, and all he could do is exercise an hour a day. That's not enough for a competitive athlete. We put him on algae, and then also enzymes and probiotics, and he consumed quite a bit of this. Within a period of 5 weeks, he was now working out 6 to 8 hours a day, and he went to 1995 Olympics, decathlon. He came home in gold, and he competed with men 10 years younger than him. So this is just one aspect. Mental improvements. This just all with blue-green algae. You're psychologically how you end up feeling. That's why it's a good idea. Don't swallow that chlorella.
No, you have to chew it.
Chew it and let it go first sublingually into your brain area, and at the same time, just take small amount of it. And if you do, you'll find that you're going to start getting the kind of benefits. But
you wouldn't say. But so you're saying?
Also,
I'm sorry.
It's very important not to have eating a lot of processed food. Your system is in a crisis at that time, and eating a bunch of processed foods. And you're eating chlorella, which increases your energy, vitality. Your body wants to clean out the garbage, so you'll get loose bowels. You'll end up feeling nauseous. You want to throw up the crap that you got in your stomach.
Wait, Victor, wait! I got to tell you. Wait, I got to tell you a funny story here.
Nauseous as being a bad thing. Being nauseous is indication that basically
it's working.
You got garbage and you got poison in your body, and it's not the chlorella. The chlorella is increasing your vitality. Increasing your energy. If you do it, like I said, sublingual, chewing it up, and then with that increased vitality, your body starts cleansing and detoxifying. So,
wait, Victor, I just have one quick story.
And detox symptoms are loose bowels, skin ends up becoming an organ of elimination. All these are channels that are opened up. So, it's not giving a chance. So when one calls it, was able to call it one of the worst supplements to take. I think
superfoods,
you should, if it gives you a lot of trouble, not everybody's going to want to be consuming something like that, or they will have the intelligence. You might have to wait 10 years, upgrade your lifestyle habits before you can really consume it successfully.
Well, Victor, I just wanted to real quick throw something. I wanted to say something very quickly about the people having detoxing reactions when they start something, which is why
you are the master of detox.
Well, but no, I don't know, master. But when I start people, I take them very slowly to cross the bridges, and we talk about all the things that can happen from nausea and loose bowels. Yeah. But I love to tell the story of my great grandmother. I learned to cook with her in the kitchen. I would be standing at the sink cleaning greens and stuff, and she was watching and she would fart. She would pass gas, right? And I was 3 years old. I was right at butt level. And I go, "Oh, Mom." And she go, "More room out than in." And that's been my mantra for all my detoxing and cleansing and everything I've gone through over the years with you and Dr. Wigmore and all the stuff I learned on my own. As I'm releasing stuff, I go cha-ching, cha-ching. I'm a winner because there's more room out here than I have in here that I shouldn't. So I just wanted to give you that quick story because people do get discouraged. They get discouraged, they get frightened, they can go, "Oh, I was doing this and it made me sick, or it gave me diarrhea, or it gave me a rash," and your body is just throwing off what it doesn't need anymore. So you kind of go through, you kind of, to get back up to the top, you have to go through a lot of the stuff you went through to get back down there, right?
It's an individualized approach.
Absolutely.
My wife, basically with green juice, initially she was drinking quite a bit with me, but then all of a sudden she started going into alkalosis because it over-alkalized the system, and she felt weak because either over-alkalizing or over-acidifying is not good for your body. So we reduced the amount of green juice she was consuming to 6 ounces, and she was feeling fantastic. Whereas myself, I had a much stronger constitution genetically, so I was able to handle a whole quarter of it, during the morning routine. So each individual is quite individual in a sense, that depending on their overall background, lifestyle, genetics, everything has an importance. So most people are enjoying chlorella. That's why chlorella's sales are projected right now from 0.2 billion to be 1.4 billion. 1.4 billion by the time we hit 1930.
Wow.
And the sales of spirulina from the 0.5 is expected to be around 3 billion. So it's basically it's well accepted in the okay. There's no example of ever anybody being poisoned by it, but it can lead to discomfort, and these discomforts you might not want to tolerate and find something else. Or use it the way we suggested. Upgrade your lifestyle habits, just like just like the medical medium is teaching you. Upgrade your lifestyles, get some exercise.
But you wouldn't agree with him that it's bad, that it's a bad superfood. I mean, that was his statement. He said it's a very...
That is not accurate.
Okay,
because,
that's all I wanted to go. That's all I wanted to say. It isn't accurate. And you know what? We all have right and wrong and good or bad, and you have to listen to it all.
And we have to be very careful how we go about judging people, or maybe it's just the way you communicate it in a sense with another person. All of a sudden you go into judgment. And the same thing is with reference to a product. You know, you gotta look at all the different reasons why it could happen one way or another. But it's well received in the marketplace. There is no toxemia associated with it. And basically, like I said, it increases your vital force, and it can lead to a little over-exaggerated cleansing reactions. And detoxification.
And Victor, that's the whole reason I wanted you to come and speak, because he has 5 million viewers on Instagram, and I just think people need to hear another story. Absolutely, but I think people need to hear another side, or another road, or another way to think about it also, and that's why we've got you here today, so that people will understand that that's one way to think, but there are other ways to think and research it also. That's the only thing I'm doing. I'm not putting anybody down or saying, I'm just giving people more information to make their decisions.
Yeah, exactly. And basically, and that's true about the more we learn about something, the more we're going to find out how beneficial pretty much everything that was created by God, and spirulina was created by God. They actually, the anthropology research indicates that it came into existence about 2 billion years ago, and 4 billion years ago was when the Aphanozoon philosophica, the blue-green algae, was born. So spirulina was identified for the first time in 1519 by Fernando Lopez, and basically, and it was he was with the Aztecs, and basically it was grown and harvested and utilized as a food source. So whereas chlorella came very late in terms of being applied. Primarily, majority of the sales are still in the Orient, but it has penetrated the United States population, because like all forms of algae are well received, because people are getting results. They're immune in mental, physical, and there's all kind of ongoing great research. So let's not badmouth a good superfood that's bad.
Let's just give more information, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I love you.
I love you, Victor. I hope I can grab you again for all of this wonderful information you have for the people. I mean, really.
Well, my own history of algae relationship, first of all, I started consuming algae, the Aphanozoon philosophica, alpha blue-green algae, from in 1984, and I got involved with it, and then I developed enzyme formulas with the company. So I got involved with the whole enzyme probiotics and algae, and we had such marvelous results with the combination on mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual levels. And then I got involved with spirulina a little later on, because I like the
put spirulina on everything. I put spirulina on everything. And the blue-green algae, I saw that. I put that under. I put a big spoonful under my mouth every day. I mean, I actually do all of them.
Yeah, me too. I do it in my mouth.
Yeah, well, I learned that from you. I learned that from you. You know.
Yeah, sublingual delivery is the best, because it has the first impact on your brain, and also it doesn't go through any kind of changes. And that's true of eating. Like, for instance, try to minimize the processing of your food. Like when you're eating sprouts, don't blend them up or juice them. Just start chewing on them. That you're going to get much more energy out of that food itself, because what you're doing is, whenever there's an energy exchange, all creations have a consciousness and a frequency. So what we're doing is, with food, we exchange these energy fields, and you see it when the energy that is associated with sprouts. Kirlian photography shows so much strong radiation, very high energy field, and if you blend it then it diminishes the field. And but if you, so you, whereas if your energy field increases in vitality that's shown on your fingers, if you're consuming by chewing that the sprouts in a sense. So the more you do sublingual delivery, and at the same time allowing the spirit, the essence of the energy field, to be released from the life form, which is called a sprout, or like gorilla. Just take a look at the gorilla diet. It sits on its butt over there, it's speaking out little sprouts and seedlings and greens, and it's chewing on it. It goes immediately from it's grounded, number one. So you got the grounding effect, connecting with Mother Earth, and this energy that is in the food itself, it empowers. And this is true from all animal life forms. That's why animals, like the mammalian animals in the fields who consume food out of the earth, they're so 10 to 50 times stronger than humans. Gorilla is a good example, looking like humans. And remember King Nebuchadnezzar, in the Bible, he was told, he was sick physically and mentally. He was told to go eat grass like the oxen. And he ended up eating grass like the oxen. He ended up chewing it from the field with the oxen. And he became well and was a very wise ruler for a long time. So, everything has to do with trying to get the maximum energy out of the food. So microgreens are the freshest. Sprouts are even more so. Fermented foods are so important, not too much of it. And try to get fresh food from your local farmers, and try to develop also gardens yourself. Like I know Karyn is doing gardening projects. She's going to have food available during the time of scarcity that is coming up right now, because so much of our food crops have been destroyed by geoengineering, weather modification program. As a result, not as much food is going to be available. Scarcity is going to be on the shelves. You already see it, how so many products are not available, seeds especially. So be prepared. Grow foods indoors, sprouts.
And I always have seeds in my house
as well. So put in the time to build health and learn from Karyn, learn from
and I learned
the medical medium, and you will be very enlightened and follow it through. What you do on a daily basis is going to determine how long you're going to live in a quality life and envision a beautiful future. The placebo effect dominates, and the more you upgrade your lifestyles, the placebo will assure you that your belief systems will become reality in survival, in health, and being able to be very effectively living in your little gardens.
Oh, Victor, I love you so much. I am so grateful that you've been in my life, and I hope all of you are as grateful to be able to hear from him. No, and please drop us a note or send me questions so that if you want to get in touch with him, we're going to put his information down here in a link each time.
Excellent.
But please, and I'm going to get him on here for a live so you guys can talk to him directly at some point. We'll get. He's in the jungle, folks. I mean, why does he want to be on this little black box? He's in the jungle. Can you believe it? I mean, it is so gorgeous where you live. His living room is outside. He goes out and picks fruit from trees, mangoes and stuff right around his house. I mean, it is heaven. And I am so grateful for you, Victor. We will do this again because you have so much information.
It's been fun.
I love you.
You give me a lot of joy from connecting with you, and I think that's something that we all need to share, is our joy, and empower one another by making people feel excellent about themselves, by bringing both basically happiness and also gratitude into our lives for all the things that are happening. We're just really blessed. 90% of the people in the world don't have any of the things that the people who are listening to these programs have. And gratitude is the number one thing that you should express. And that will empower you that beyond any imagination. So love is the way. And until later, Viktoras.
I love you, Victor. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you too. Bye. So what do you think? Did I give you a gift today or what? Right? And we're gonna bring him back more because everything he says resonates in my heart, and maybe it will in yours too, someplace, because he just has so much information for us. I'm so honored to have had him in my life all of these years, and hopefully he'll agree because he's very busy. He's writing, he's got his newsletter, he's developing still, but hopefully we can grab him again and I can get more of his information out to you. So thank you so much for joining me today. And please remember that if you don't take care of your body, the most magnificent machine you'll ever be given, where are you going to live? Mwah. Bye. Love you.